Hi, it's Debbie Williams. I'm an NLP trainer and hypnotherapist. And today I'm going to talk about how to overcome maybe a parent in your life or somebody in your life who's passed on, but you're still suffering the consequences of their behaviour. Now, this was inspired by somebody who'd emailed me and said, can you do a video? My dad beat me up from a little age. He actually split my testicles. He did some pretty horrific damage to me, and he's been dead now, I can't remember how many years, but his legacy lives on because he was well respected in the community, and some of his work is being published and promoted, and everybody thinks he was absolutely wonderful. And even this chap's mom is in complete denial of this man's behaviour. And obviously my heart has gone out to this person, and I'm thinking, well, how do I answer this? Because I don't know the full story, and I don't need to know the full story, because my goal behind these videos is to try and help as many people as I can make a move in a direction that's going to ultimately make their life better in the future. Now, I've got a couple of videos on overcome childhood abuse. I'd certainly say watch those because there's some useful techniques in there. And plus I've got a product, Overcome Childhood Abuse, which has got some really, really useful information in that would help to lift a lot of the weight off the shoulders of you if stuff like this has happened for you, or if you're a therapist watching this and thinking, what can I do to help my client? Now, potentially what I would do if this person came to me, I would get them to write down, almost like map it out of, okay, the consequences, because this chap is thinking, well, do I blow the whistle on him? Because obviously he's carrying all this anger and this upset, and he has done for years. And you can imagine the emotional thing of not having the support from your own mother, that could eat away at you. And so what I would be doing potentially would be getting him to write out a list of, well, okay, if I blew the whistle on him, then what would happen next, and what would happen next, and what would happen next? What would be the impact on everybody around me? What would be the impact on myself? Would the, potentially be a sense of relief, a sense of getting it out there? And then the opposite of, what if I don't do this? And also of going through some of my sheets on debbiewilliams.co.uk of processing negative thoughts. And there's things there of, is this thought true? Is it helping me reach my outcome? Just to perhaps check things out, because I've had clients come to me who've been to therapy and have suffered from, false memory syndrome. And so sometimes it's worthwhile going through these processes just to make sure that you are 100% sure that this happened to you. And the chap that I'm doing this video for, this isn't saying that it wasn't true, it's just as a concern, because I had a client who came to me who really thought that she had been abused, and she'd hidden this secret for so long that with a bit of questioning realised it wasn't. There was a set of circumstances that made her believe that that was possible, and it actually had an influence on the career choice that she'd chosen. And I said to her, I'm so glad you came to me, because potentially with the wrong questioning we could have reinforced that belief and created sort of a lot of hell for everybody around. And so just going through this process will also give you complete clarity of what did happen, and give you the opportunity to get the stuff out. See, on my Overcome Childhood Abuse recording, I talk about how the shamans had a way of sort of knowing that, if you've been a victim, then you need to tell your story. But if you keep telling your story any more than 3 times, then you become a victim of this person. And if you've ever read the book Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, this chap was incarcerated in the war and had gone through all kinds of hell, and he studied psychology, and he looked at how people handle things, and he realised that people who had hope and a bright future to look forward to were able to create that for themselves and leave a lot of the pain behind. And when you think about it, it was bad enough it happened when it happened. What you're doing in your mind is you're playing it over and over and over. It was bad enough the first time, and brain is doing that because sometimes it wants sort of resolution. It wants acceptance from the people around you. I understand that. My mum, while she wasn't physically abusive, she was quite cruel mentally. And at 26 years of age, I'd created quite a lot of business success. And then I thought, is this it? You know, well, I've arrived, but why am I not happy? And I realised I did it all because I wanted validation from my mom, which clearly was never going to come. And once I realised that, I thought, well, I don't want to do it for her. And so with equal motivation, I kind of destroyed things and managed to do some pretty much damage and create a bankruptcy for myself and all sorts. So, you know, I have been to dark places, but by focusing on the goal of how to be happy, it pulls you out of it. It's a better focus to be obsessed about, and to be obsessed about having a life in balance. There's kind of like a mixed sort of message there that you can't be totally OCD and out of balance if your goal is to be healthy, happy and have a life in balance. It keeps the parameters in a safer sort of environment so that you actually have control of your life and can make life happier. So going back to the advice I'd have for this chap is write out like a map of, well, if I take this action, what are the consequences? Because we talk about, oh God, I wish I'd realised what would pan out. And hindsight is a great thing to have up front, and that's what this will do, of writing out all the possibilities. And if I do that, what would happen? If I did that, what would happen? What would be the consequences of the people around me? How would they react, etc., etc.? And then that gives you the choice, if that is the right choice, that you can live with the consequences, that you still want to do it, then you go ahead and do it. But also looking at another little technique of asking God, your creator, your higher self, universal mind, whatever your belief is, to take care of it for you. So whenever you have the thoughts coming in of the pain of the past, of putting it in and just sending it into the light, it's another way of not carrying it on your shoulders, of just saying, well, I can't deal with this. Universe, you deal with it. And another little exercise that you could do, my overcoming grief recording, gives people an opportunity to say goodbye to somebody that they've lost. And the techniques on there is so, you know, you say goodbye to somebody that you've lost, but you could actually use that to actually say what you wanted to say. Well, you know, you are an absolute bastard to me. How dare you treat me in that way? And to hear what you need to hear to move on. And it's facilitated in a way that the suggestion I've set to hear what you need to hear to move on, that as you listen to that perhaps either you get a reply, well, yeah, I was a bastard, I am so sorry, I was messed up, blah, blah, blah. Or at least you get an opportunity to voice how you feel and get it out of your system. Because the thing you need to recognise is that if you're carrying this, it's stopping you living your life, and sometimes making the decision of, actually, I'm not going to carry it anymore because I'm not going to give my power away to that, whatever you want to call that person. They're not worth it. And again, by thinking that and just sending it into the light, of letting it go and making a decision, right, I want to create for myself a wonderful life. And I can certainly help you with that. If you click the link below, there's my Stop Worrying, Create a Wonderful Life free recording and monthly life coaching, that if you set the goals, well, I want to be happy, it will gradually pull you out of this pain and into creating a better life for yourself. I hope this has been helpful, and obviously a little caveat that this or something even better, that if the advice isn't right for you, then your mind can search for a better solution, because of course I haven't got all the answers and everybody is unique and different. But there is a lot of help on my video channel and a lot of free help out there that I've done, and even my paid for recordings, I'm very OCD about getting them right, that I rewrote at least sort of 20 or 30 times to get them how I wanted. And even when I recorded them, I kept thinking, oh, I could have done that, that would have been better, I could have done that. And then I go through the process of, okay, will this actually help somebody listening to it? Yes. Could some of my NLP colleagues who perhaps don't like me attack me and say, well, that wasn't very good? Possibly. But actually, piss off, you know, I'm doing something good here, and I know from the feedback I really am helping people, and that's my heart of what I want to do to the best of my ability. And it's great talking to you today. Bye now.